Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. Look, let's fact a little bit. We're all Americans. Those of us who were born here, who were raised here, we grew up being exposed to the same types of environments. Some of them were different depending upon your race. But nevertheless, we as Americans experienced it. And it had an effect on us. I know it did me. It is this America, just by watching television, that I had a fear of Native Americans, of Indians. I believed that they had to be slaughtered and ran off and put on reservations in order for me, who I thought was an American, a genuine American, could have a place to live. I didn't know any better. It is that America that I became afraid of Africa. Watching Tarzan, the way they had black people portrayed, I was as afraid of Africa that I could ever be. So I know it had an effect on other people as well. And when it comes down to that, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know I am, without doubt, convinced beyond doubt, that white people are as afraid of black people as it can possibly be, just based upon how black people have been portrayed on television, the way black people have been portrayed in movies. They've given us the worst. And white people, that they can't help it. I mean, this is what's been bred into them. So they really do fear us. They fear us more than they hate us. But because of the fear, uncontrolled fear, it ends up as an act of hate. We all go through these kinds of things. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? When you start thinking about the things that people have held up as being truth, in America, just like the language, English, we speak English. I guess that's what we speak. And if you didn't go to school to learn a foreign language, you speak English. And if somebody jump up in front of you and start speaking a foreign language, you don't know what they're talking about. And we've been taught to live in bondage. We've lived in bondage all our lives. And when people start talking about freedom, we only can equate freedom with what little bit of freedom we might have had. To some, might have been no freedom at all. And then you think about the religion, what the religion has meant. It has meant thousands of different denominations, all expressing the one God, a divided God through all of these different denominations that will not permit themselves to come together. A religion, a God that's all into politics and it's on one side or the other, a Republican and a Democrat, all into all of this stuff. And that's what they have taught us. That's what we have learned about God. Now, we give a little biblical talks that, in the words of United States Congressman, I believe from North Carolina, I referred to him several times. He was a pastor for 16 years before he came into the Congress. But he was stating that Trump was not chosen to be a moral leader. So what would we, well, at least he wasn't talking about the rest of the people. He was talking about the Republicans, conservatives. What would they rather have? A moral, upstanding leader, or a leader that can get you from point A to point B? And in getting you to point A, point B gets you what you want. And you know the things that they wanted. They wanted more power, power to control and manipulate others. That's what they wanted. And so they use Trump to get that. And when they get what they want, then they'll go back and start talking about God again. Well, see, ladies and gentlemen, that tells me all I need to know. See, I want you to know it. I'm going to tell you this. People are playing with your heads. Now, I'm going to tell you what I know. I know there's a God. I know there's a God. I've had the revelation. I've had the miracle. And God made all of us. All human beings, wherever they are, God made us. And to every last one of us, there is no one below us, and there is no one above us. We are all almighty children of God. And the way we honor God is by allowing God to be our God, an invisible being that we can't see, we can't touch, we can't feel, but we look at this tree and the sun, you can't see it, but it's peering right through between those branches. You might see it in my glasses. The grass. Me is responsible for us, all of us, and loves us, and prepared for us that as being here on earth, there are certain things that are coming amongst us that we need to survive. All of us need it to survive. Food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, and a few of them. A few of the main things. And God provided that can be dealt with by engaging each of us who comes on this planet with a gift, a career objective in our being, in our spirit. That's what we come here to do. It could be whatever people do, whatever you want to do, whatever it is that would give you your greatest joy in doing it. That's what you came here to do. And it's lined up with things the system is already in place. Now, there are going to be new things, as always, in the process of bringing and introducing it and spreading it out so the world can benefit. That would be structured. But for the most part, the established order, it has responded to what our common needs are. The problem has been that rather than having you, the people, doing it as your gift to one another, your gift, ladies and gentlemen, what you do, you build, you're a painter, you dig ditches, you stack shelves, food, you grow food, you wash cars, you make cars. Your gift, that's your gift to the humanity. That's your gift to the human race. And when you give your gift out, all that stuff goes together and it comes back, whoa, in multitudes and abundance, that you, the people, just by exercising your gift, have created all that stuff that you could possibly want, that you could possibly need, that you could possibly desire. You've already created it. No one should be without any of it. Why? Because everybody participated in it. So everybody is a part owner. You're a part owner. You, my friends, you have been selected by the Spirit that you can't see to receive the love of God into your being. That is expressed through your gift in service to the human race. That is God loving us through us. Now, that's not a complicated matter. You know, you're going to the churches, spending all that time talking about history of, you got time to do that, that's fine. But it's simple. It's a simple matter. It's a simple matter, knowing who you are, and that is basically this. Let me sum it up. You respect and honor the Father that you can't see, can't touch, can't feel, can't conjure up. But all of the evidence of that power's existence is before us, even our being. We honor that by allowing no one to be below us or anyone to be above us. That means we are directly connected and listening to the Spirit of God. That's what it means. We're listening and we understand God. We understand God's love. And, as I articulated earlier, meeting our needs. And that in peace and prosperity and freedom and joy of life and the fulfillment of your dreams, all of that, my friends, that's how it comes. And so seeing the kind of love like this that promotes like heaven on earth, then this is what it's all about. That's what we're here to do. That's our job here, is to protect one another, to love one another, and fight off any enemy. And when I say enemy is anything that will destroy what I just described. Anything that would destroy the peace amongst humankind. Anything that would destroy that is evil. Anything that would destroy the prosperity between humankind is evil. Anything that would destroy the freedom of individuals to be who and what they are is evil. Anything that would destroy the joy of life for anybody is evil. Anything that would destroy your dreams is evil. Anything that would destroy you and your ability to exercise your gift again, to play a part in the creative process as you have been given to do, is evil. It takes away all of the stuff that I just got through telling you that. And so it is our duty as human beings on this earth. We haven't been taught this. We haven't been taught this. We've been sitting around the book talking about God, talking about the Bible. We've been just sitting around in circles and circles and circles. While the simple thing is honoring God by loving one another and protecting one another from any virus that will come upon us, not just the corona, but lying and cheating and stealing, trampling on the rules. No. That is our job, to prevent any of that from happening. So that means our job is to prevent the establishment of a system administered by Republicans or Democrats. Resist it. Why? Because it denies the love of God. It's plain and simple. It denies the love of God. Now, what does that mean? That means when you stand up against them, you point out to them the evilness of their way. Point out to them how it creates pain and suffering to others. Oh, I know they got somebody that benefits. That's capitalist. That's somebody that benefits. But I want you to point out to them the pain and suffering that it causes upon others. That is the condemnation part of it. And you show them, you advocate for them how that gap can be mended, how it can be fixed so there won't be any pain, there won't be any suffering. And up here and all the way in between will be satisfied. That's our job. And that's what we must represent. And we do not give in for anything. We don't even compromise that. We're not compromising on the freedom of anybody. We're not compromising upon the joy and life of anyone. That's our job. All this crazy stuff going on in the world. racism and hatred and bigotry because we have not done our job. And we didn't do our job because we didn't know what our job was. I just told you what your job is. Now that means you got to change. You got to start speaking another language overnight, because this is a simple language. This is a language that's like music. Everybody can feel music. Music speaks to everyone, and so does the truth. It speaks to everyone. And though you have not been spoken to of in terms of truth, now that you hear it, you know it. And truth leads the same way. Truth does not work against itself. Truth is interconnected. It all works together. And so it brings us together so we can not speak in foreign language tongues. No, we speak in language that we all understand. That's love. I want to thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me this as much of your time. And I hope you got something out of this. And until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.